Food Court, the movie podcast and Twitch stream where Sean
and John
watch stuff.
Michael, say your name.
For a second, I took on the role of like just the audio engineer. Like, okay, guys, keep going.
Okay, watch stuff.
Michael and Michael. I was like, are they gonna wrap this up?
Say your name. Say your name.
Can we hear more of you? Hey, Michael,
Yeah,
can we talk, please, Michael? Well, we watch shit, we talk shit, and most importantly, we eat shit. We must welcome back to the show, Michael Hampton.
Yes.
And we'll welcome back to the show, me, Sean Parrott. And we'll welcome back to the show, the late, great John Burr in all his glory.
That's right.
Woo!
I've returned from your past.
Yeah.
And I have a Long Island accent. But I have never... Have I played Gandhi?
No.
I haven't played Gandhi. That'd be quite a Robert De Niro-esque weight loss.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I just mean the role, like you playing that would be interesting.
Would be. I'm more like the Gandhi from the computer game Civilization who goes nuclear and scorches the earth.
That's good.
Every time you try to play.
Does that happen?
Do you know about this, Sean? So, are you familiar
this.
with the video game Civilization? The movie podcast is ruined.
Yeah.
We're talking about computer games.
Well, I mean, that's probably more popular. People only like computer games. Nobody even knows what a movie is.
Are you familiar with this game?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
That's great.
So, it is like a very nerdy, supposedly erudite strategy game where you try to construct a civilization from the Mesopotamian area all the way up until you leave the earth a la Richard Branson. Or
it's crazy.
Or you crush thine enemies and hear the lamentations of the women and see your enemies before you.
Yeah.
And when you choose a society, you get you replace a certain leader. But you also interact with all the other leaders from all the other eras. Mm-hmm. So, of course, for the Indians or the Hindu people, it's Gandhi.
Sure. But
there's a bug in the system. And Gandhi is a craven, intergalactic despot who craves only blood and destroys, and always tries to win the game through nuclear warfare, which has to be one of the most ironic and wonderful bugs in the history of computer games.
That's amazing.
And they have not corrected it purposefully.
That's great.
Like
fucking funny.
This worked out great. It's perfect. Wow, that's amazing. I'm glad to hear it.
Wow.
We watched Sneakers, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, what did we watch?
But welcome back to Food Court, the computer podcast.
You guys' sneaker collection is so much cooler than mine. If you're not a person who watches us on Twitch, and apparently none of you are, then you don't know that everyone has put their sneaker collections behind them today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I had a sizable collection, but apparently Michael has an Ozymandias level collection.
Yeah.
And then Sean's is Dexter serial killer level pristine. This is bullshit.
I live in a Payless. It's pretty exciting.
You live in a really big Payless.
Yeah, pay more, actually. It's the
more.
rich version. Ding dong.
Doesn't get as many customers. Actually, probably in Nashville it would, because we're so fucking stupid. We're oh yeah, you have to pay more?
Ooh,
sounds great.
Sign me up.
What's a hamburger?
What if the shoes had little
$17?
floppy hats on them?
Yeah.
The shoes had little floppy hats or feathers sticking out.
Ooh.
Yes.
The boots have boots. Now that would be cool.
These boots are boots made for walking.
And that's just boots.
The boots have a shag cut. I've heard that the shag is very big right now. That's what I was told at work
I've
today.
heard that just straight up butt cuts are back.
What's that?
Butt cut?
I'm Sean. I'm sure you have one. Would you please explain a butt cut?
I don't think I know what it is either.
It's when you have your hair is parted directly down the middle.
Oh, wow.
I could. Oh, look at it. Just look. See? Very bad.
John is combing his hair.
For those listeners, he looks like a 13-year-old soccer player.
Yeah, Augustus Gloop prowling the fields.
Gloop.
Yeah, everyone I knew who played soccer had one of those cuts, but I never
All
knew
the
it was
skaters
called a butt
had
cut.
it for a while, the clean cut skaters,
Weird.
the Stussy Massimo rich kid skaters, who probably quit skating 3 years later and just got really into hypnol and day drink.
Whoa.
Those skaters had the butt cuts.
Hell yeah.
They sound like butt cuts, if you know what I'm saying.
Whoa. How dare you? We watched the feature film, the 1992 feature film Sneakers, starring Robert Redford, among others. directed and written by Phil Alden Robinson. Is that true? Wow, it is.
Wow.
I said it, and I was actually
true.
right.
Veteran of TV and film production.
Yes, and I think he did Field of Dreams right before this.
Yeah, which is weird because like I really do not like Field of Dreams.
Really?
Yeah.
And I really liked this movie.
Interesting.
Wow, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who dislikes this movie on this podcast, Michael?
Not that I know
Okay.
That was a pivotal moment, and I don't think the podcast might have been rend asunder. I do want to talk about how Sean likes this movie too much at some point.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
At some point.
Let's talk about it.
My low main is that Sean likes
Yes. My low main is the fact that it brings me joy.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like
Disgusts
that
me.
about that. It's kind of weird. It's not good.
Well, if we're going to talk about this feature film Sneakers, we must talk about the plot, and there's no one better at talking about the plots of movies than Michael Hampton.
Oh, wow.
Michael.
Uh-huh.
Buckle up, folks.
We've talked about it before. We've talked about it again.
Uh-huh.
You are the great rememberer of plots.
Oh, I could tell you the plot of 1,000 films.
You could tell us the plot of 2001.
I could tell you that.
Or
There's
the film 2001.
Yeah, there's like a
2010.
lot of shots of nature and like a guy in a monkey suit. Clearly a guy in a monkey suit. And then he throws up a bone, and then there's a spaceship.
I like the idea that in the movie 2001, it is canon that it's a bunch of guys in monkey suits. They're not playing monkeys. They are just actual men in monkey suits
that's
in the prehistoric world.
Yeah.
And they're just dressed as
It's
monkeys.
pretty exciting.
What happened in Sneakers, Michael?
Oh, okay. You want to know about Sneakers. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you got me on this roll of like any movie, and I was like, well, let's see.
Tell us every movie from the very first movie ever created until now.
Okay, well, so there's this train, right? And it's coming towards the screen.
It's fucking terrifying.
It's terrifying. Everyone scream. Ah! What a bunch of idiots. That's what the filmmaker was sitting back there like, what are you doing? This is not a horror picture. So anyways.
As I recall, it was a horror
A
film.
horror film. That was
is
a
art.
train. Art. Okay, so this movie starts with two friends, Marty and the other guy. I can't remember. Cosmo. There we
From
go.
The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. It
Oh
appears.
wow. Oh wow.
It looks like him. And isn't Ben Gazzar's name Cosmo? In
Whoa.
The Killing of a Chinese Bookie.
I don't remember.
That'd be wild.
I think I don't know. It's very similar.
Wow.
Kingsley's doing something.
These are reference-heavy movies, so
Yes, they
probably.
Yeah.
Whoa, that would be crazy. So Marty and Cosmo are doing some underground, top secret hacking, slacking motherfucking shit. And it's not good because they're going to get in trouble if they get caught.
Mm-hmm.
And Marty's like, we're fine. We're just having fun. I'm going to go get some pizza. And then he goes to get pizza. Lo and behold.
Oh, sorry. I want to say one exciting plot point at this
Please.
moment that I really like.
Okay, please.
Cosmo does this bit that he does later on, where he's like, "Hey, the winner has to go get the pizza," and he's got the car key or something, and he makes the
True.
car key disappear. And Marty picks one hand and it's not there. And then after Marty leaves, he shows the other hand and we realize that he
Yeah.
has tricked Marty into going to get pizza, but at the same time has tricked himself into going to jail.
Yeah, that's
and at
pretty
least
good.
according to Marty, until later dying in jail.
Yeah.
And this movie is filled with nothing but writerly bits like that,
Yes.
Yeah.
which normally is annoying,
Yeah.
but in this movie works.
Mm,
And then even in just movies of this era, when I watch them now,
mm.
compared to films that are shot and written to be understood by people who don't even speak the native language, and it's just like trying to spawn as many Vin Diesel franchises as one can.
Yeah.
It's now somehow refreshing.
Somehow.
Yes. Someone trying to make a movie.
Yeah, giving crap. You know?
Yeah.
Composing shots.
Right.
Trying to make sure that where people are in a given space is
Yeah.
obvious.
It's pretty wild. You know,
It's
there's
crazy
more to
shit.
it than just setting up a camera. And going, all right, go for it. But this movie, and we'll get to it when we start going through all of the good things and the great things.
And the bad things.
And the bad things, if there are any. There actually is. Okay, so cut to many years later, because Marty saw his friend get arrested. And somehow the cops don't look into the fact that he's screaming Marty's name as he's being... Marty!
Marty!
He's outside the window right now. He could easily be captured.
You could just go get him.
Ben Gazzara! Ben Gazzara!
I've been arrested. The thing... Okay, later on, whatever. Marty is on a team of cool, like, heisty type people. There's Whistler, the blind guy, who listens to things really well. And there's Mother, Dan Aykroyd. And then there's... I don't remember any of the other people's
Mother is the resident QAnon conspiracy theorist.
He's Dan Aykroyd.
Yes, he's
Mother
just
is Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd finally got to play himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, many of the theories espoused in the movie are actual Dan Aykroyd theories.
Wait, really? Wow.
Apparently, the cow lips thing is just a personal pet Dan Aykroyd theory.
Wow.
He's into cow lips.
He just
thinks
said
they're
that?
being stolen.
Is this the first movie where Dan Aykroyd is fat?
Ooh.
Is this the beginning of Fat Aykroyd?
Fat
Or is that Driving Miss Daisy?
Aykroyd.
Maybe. I mean, he was always kind of a chub, but he's
No!
He's gone...
He was
Whoa.
thin. He was Beldar. SNL
Beldar.
era? Okay, maybe I'm out of order here because I am fat.
No, I
But to
support
me,
it.
there's like a thin era of Dan Aykroyd. Blues Brother era Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I guess he's a lot thinner.
Oh, I
than.
never thought about
You're
that.
right, he's a lot thinner than.
John Belushi's the fat one.
That's true. You're right.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Or just in comparison.
Continue interrupting Michael's summary, please.
I
I
mean,
don't remember what I was interrupting in favor of.
I think you were probably interrupting with filling in what I forgot, like who these people are.
Oh, that sounds right.
Oh, yeah.
Only 41 more minutes
Yeah.
for the Michael summary left, guys.
I'll never forget the Thing episode. It literally is like 50 minutes of me trying to explain what
You're
happens.
not listenable.
Or is it the best one ever?
Oh,
Go back and check out our Thing episode to find
Yeah.
out.
Yep. Anyway.
What happens next, Michael?
There's a black guy, and
Yep.
he was in the CIA, I think, or something like that. And he's very like tough and by the books, but also a criminal. It's like kind of interesting. And then there's a young guy who like just helps out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, is that who that is? No clue. I was like, who's that guy?
Even Sidney Poitier doesn't get a name.
Oh,
I'm like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sydney.
So,
Michael,
there was
you're
a-
racist and ageist.
Some black guy. I don't know. Maybe one of the great actors.
Yeah. Sydney. I just didn't know his character name.
Oh, Crease.
Crease.
Which is even weirder.
Yeah, that's a
Crease
weird
is a really
name.
weird name.
Crease.
I'm mad at Michael because I feel like the characters are indelible.
I loved him.
Well, then why don't you remember who they are?
In one ear, out the other. That type.
Oh,
you know.
Christ. It's a movie. You watched it.
I mean, I watched it and I loved it in the moment, but that was back then. Now, this is now. I can't-
Michael's
I'm
on
in-
one.
I'm on the present constantly.
There is no movie but the movie I'm watching now.
Yeah.
Currently, the movie is Food Court, the movie.
Yeah.
The podcast I'm on.
The podcast.
Recording.
Starring a guy with glasses, a guy with a hat.
They all have glasses. You son of a bitch.
Oh, damn it. One dark.
Sean, please take over the summary.
Yeah, please.
This is what happens.
Oh, my God.
Marty thinks he has gotten loose. Played by Robert Redford. He thinks he's gotten loose and he's gotten free, but he's been found by the government.
Oof.
Well, we think they're the government. And the people from the NSA say, hey, we want you to do this special mission to get this top secret box that will unlock all codes. And with it, you can do crazy shit that we haven't found out yet. And so they do a little sneak. They do a sneaky sneak. They go into his office and steal it.
Mhm.
And they get it. And then they find out that this box that they thought was pretty crazy is actually really crazy because it can basically get them into any computer accessible website. They can get into the
It's
air
a
traffic
MacGuffin.
control. They can get into lots of crazy shit that makes them very scary, and they play some scary music. And they do some Scrabble as well. And then they go, "Oh shit, we're fucked because this is dangerous." And we find out that Cosmo, the aforementioned dead friend, is in fact alive, and he is an evil villain now, and he works for the
Ben
mob.
Kingsley now.
And he's Ben Kingsley now. Yes,
Because they aren't at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's not Ben Kingsley.
Nor Robert Redford.
And I forgot to mention this. This must be mentioned. These are pretty good young versions of the actors.
Yeah, I think I thought it was Robert Redford.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it looks a lot like him.
Yeah.
And
they've been marvelly de-aged. Marvelously.
But it makes me wish. I mean, as much as I like The Irishman, it makes me wish, like, well, just get some guy who's young and Italian.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of young Italian men.
There's too many young Italians.
Yeah, exactly. So put him in a movie to play young Robert De Niro playing an old Irishman.
I'm sorry. The de-aging in The Irishman and the scene where he beats up, in air quotes, that guy.
Yeah.
You can't. It's over. The film has ended.
That's great. Roll credits.
You're no longer watching a movie, and you're completely stultified. And you have to be like, okay, I'm going to get over this because I love Martin Scorsese. I love Robert De Niro. I'm just going to pretend that the worst looking shit I've ever seen didn't just happen.
Yes.
None of that happens in Sneakers because they use actors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guess what? There's some pretty good actors out there.
Yeah.
Instead of just, I don't know, chroma keying out Robert De Niro's liver spots.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So weird. So strange.
And then more sneaking must happen.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Ben Kingsley has the box. He has the super secret thing. And he has put Martin Bryce back on the list. So Martin can get arrested. And a whole bunch of crazy Russian shit happens. And they decide they have to do one final sneak. They should do Sneakers too. There's still time. But they go in and they steal back the box. And that's pretty much it. There's like a few different sneaks. And they do their sneaking. And they get in and out. And you get a little scared, but not too scared. And then everything...
Basically, this movie is a remix of 3 Days of the Condor and the Newman Redford films. Only instead of Paul Newman, they took the different essential parts of Paul Newman and turned it into a little boy, a black man, a blind man, Fat Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And it somehow works.
Yeah.
Oh, it's delightful.
It's really well. Yeah, it works.
Does it work? Good. Michael, you seem like you are the most doubtful about this picture, so I will ask you first. What's the era of this picture? What's the best part of Sneakers?
Oh, the best part of this entire movie? You want to know that from me right now? Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you.
I know that you watched this because we watched it in the same room.
He's really acting like he didn't watch it.
I'm pretty good at this.
Michael is
brilliant.
mailing in a performance wherein he actually did the work.
Yeah, it's really wild.
I've never seen it done before.
I'm pretty convincing. My favorite
fail a test on purpose.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm all about experience. You know,
it's like Goodwill Hunting. Goodwill. I can't remember.
Good who? What? Well, my favorite part is when Crease, or as you might know, the actor Sidney Pointy Head.
I'm so glad that he's making fun of Sidney Pointy Head because Sean and I are not allowed
to.
No, he's a grand statesman.
I love it.
He's so well spoken.
Great, unimpeachable man.
He is very well spoken. But my favorite part is when he's held hostage. And Sean and I talked about this a lot. But he beats the guys up, takes the gun, the shotgun, and he points it at him. He goes, "Motherfuckers mess with me, I'll split your head." And it's like so like the delivery is just like perfect. Because as you're saying, he is like so eloquent the whole time, but then just suddenly he just like shifts. You're like, whoa.
And it must be noted the thing that we must find a way to watch. Apparently, there was some like ceremony celebrating Sidney Poitier.
Whoa.
And they asked, a bunch of the directors he had worked with to put together little things. And so Phil Alden Robinson put together a supercut of like 18 different takes of him saying, "Y'all motherfuckers, don't move, I'm gonna split your heads," or something like that. So there somewhere is a piece of film of just 18 straight cuts of him saying that line. And I'm
into it.
I wish I could watch that.
Yeah. Sign me that. Is that on the special features? You guys watched an actual.
I wish.
You watched a Blu-ray of this, right?
We watched the Blu-ray of it, yeah.
So I had to watch on HBO Max, and it is like a bad transfer.
Oh no!
Really? Standard definition.
Oh no!
Bad.
Ugh.
But still looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they knew what they were doing when they were making this movie.
Oh, big time.
Really did know what they were moving.
It's like a professionally made movie.
Yes.
Like even movies that I like kind of enjoy now, like Zola or something. It's kind of it's an interesting new voice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching. I'm like, these people don't know how to make movies.
Yeah, that's funny.
No.
Like I saw the boom mic a few times. It's like, you fucked it up. You don't know how to make a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know what happened. Maybe they died out. I don't like the craftsmen who made movies for so long. They're gone, man. They're gone.
Dead.
They're so gone.
See, this is fucked up. Now I just revealed that I'm actually mailing in this podcast and sorting magic cards.
Yeah, you're holding up your magic cards. Where has the craft gone? Where's the craft?
Michael's pretending to mail it in and has like a backdrop and is doing everything correctly. I'm actually mailing it in. Didn't finish the movie. Damn it. John, what's your hero of the picture?
Oh, I have 1,000, but my main hero.
Let's talk about your many heroes.
Oh,
so I don't do the show for like, 4 weeks in a row? Big deal.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, because still watch the show, boys. Still out there. Still lurking.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
It's called Hero of the Picture.
Sure.
It's a singular hero. You can't have 62 heroes every episode.
That's true.
I just feel like the episodes will be like 30 minutes if we don't.
Would that be so fun? There's no goddamn way, because if you're doing the summary, there's 41 minutes.
He's got a point.
But I just had so many things I loved.
My main hero.
You can have as many heroes as you want, Sean. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's
Sean,
okay.
This is Sean's comfort food movie, so we should probably just... Michael and I should probably just log off.
Yeah, that would be really.
I need you guys here to go. That's a good point.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't think about it that way.
My hero. I have a lot of heroes. But the one I loved the most watching it recently. There's this part where Redford is meeting with the NSA guys, or the guys he thinks are in the NSA, and he's walking in. And he says, "I could have joined the NSA, but they found out my parents were married," which is like a fun little thing that he burns him with.
Yeah.
And one of the guys,
a lot of Timothy Busfield zingers.
Yes,
he burns that ginger to the ground and never even mentions that he has the accursed red hair.
Yes. But the thing that really sells the joke for me is he says this kind of like throwaway, slightly bitchy line at the two guys, and the dude, like the bigger cop, Buddy, is furious.
Yeah.
He has to be held back. He starts to like go after him.
It's so funny.
Who is that actor? I love that guy.
He's great. What is his name? He plays Buddy Wallace, but his name is Eddie Jones.
Oh,
just a really generic name.
Yeah, he did really good job.
Really good in this. He's scary as fuck in this movie.
He's saddled with that 30-something sack of malarkey Timothy Busfield, but he somehow gets through it. Are you telling me in the Timothy Busfield role they couldn't have cast the guy who's the guy from? He's in the Untouchables. He's the nerdy one in the Untouchables.
Oh yes,
and he also is in Deep Cover.
Yes.
I mean, shouldn't you always cast that guy in the Timothy Busfield role?
Yeah. I
mean, this is bad podcasting that we're not even bothering to look up who this is, folks. You know what I'm talking about. It's the accountant from the Untouchables.
You know the accountant from the Untouchables. He's great. That's my main Euro, but I have to throw it over to John for big time Euro.
Yes.
What's the best part of sneakers?
So after all that shit talking, I can't decide between my two Euros.
Ooh.
It's a 2-horse race, guys.
Okay.
And the horses are named David Strathairn and Stephen Tobolowsky.
Whoa.
Yes.
Because despite all the star power and all the Oscar winners and Oscar nominees,
Mm-hmm.
the two best guys are David Strathairn portraying the blind phone freak
Yeah.
whistler,
Mm-hmm.
who is just like a very like indelible and endearing performance.
Yes.
And then like Stephen Tobolowsky taking what could have been like, let's contrast Stephen Tobolowsky's performance with, say, Donald Logue's performance.
Mm.
Yes.
Donald Logue plays like, I think, a French Canadian
Who
genius
knows?
code breaker,
Yeah.
and like completely whiffs and is like, over the top and absurd.
Yeah.
Stephen Tobolowsky somehow manages to be over the top and absurd, yet very believable.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great.
And like you feel like that guy. And a lot of the reason the characters in this movie work is, for the most part, like Donald Logue, who's an actor I enjoy. This is very young Donald Logue, by the way.
Yes.
All the characters seem to have been cut from whole cloth and are like completely realized. And I think one of the secrets is they're almost all taken. It feels like they're all taken from different movies.
Whoa.
And I think that shit works. And I think like people like Quentin Tarantino have showed us that
Yes.
that shit works.
Yeah.
Like Ben Kingsley character, I think, is Ben Gazzara from The Killing of a Chinese Bookie. And I don't know, and Stephen Tobolowsky, he has rendered this character wholesale. Like he knows this guy in and out, and it
Yes.
totally works. He knows his dog's name, like
Yes.
it just, those two performances. Like I really haven't seen this movie that many times,
Mhm.
and I remember all of their biggest beats. And this is a movie filled with great performances. This is probably Dan Aykroyd's best performance.
Mm.
Yeah.
Robert Redford does not have a lot of great performances. This is probably this is him stretching a double into a triple, which I know is the natural, etc. But
Yes.
I mean, this movie's filled with great performances, and I think,
Mhm.
but I think the two best are from David Strathairn and Stephen Tobolowsky.
Yes.
Whoa.
Strathairn's amazing.
Really amazing.
He's so good and so like instantly lovable.
Yeah.
That like once we get to kind of his big soaring moment at the end where he drives,
Yes.
you were like, yeah,
That's the scene
love
that like
that.
everyone remembers. I feel
It's so good.
yeah,
that or Stephen Tobolowsky's "My Voice Is My Passport."
Yeah.
Like everybody remembers the dinner scene. Like
It's
Yeah.
really
it's got
good.
as much tension as like Where Eagles Dare, or the scene that Quentin Tarantino stole from Where Eagles Dare in Inglourious Bastards. Like
Yes.
it's got that kind of tension while being funny.
yeah,
And then furthermore, like I said, River Phoenix was supposed to be like this unbelievable sexual ball of charisma, and we've barely mentioned him, and Michael forgot who he was.
Yeah, I didn't
That's because
know.
there are so many better performances in it.
yes. Phoenix, I
He's
think
good.
he's good. He's really good,
He's
and
good.
also he pulls off the ending pretty well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is hard to do because that's a really silly ending. But
All of the bits are rote and bad, and they all work.
yes,
That's really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, it has a lot of like very older movie type things where you like kind of expect it, but they're like so well done that you're just, it's almost refreshing, kind of maybe from the standpoint of like retroactively of like how we've lost all the craft. And it's like, oh, it's like kind of
Yes.
refreshing to see like, oh, this is nice. Like these like kind of thought out points in the story and like character
Yes.
beats and stuff. It's
Yeah, there's one scene when Redford first meets with the NSA guys in their office, and it's like, oh, it's a oneer, and I think only until recently I notice it was a oneer because it's so elegantly put together.
Mm.
I didn't notice.
Oh yeah, from the moment he comes into their office until the end where they like converge upon him and get
Hey,
get
yeah.
closer to him, and like they like take up the whole frame with
That
their
was
arms.
good.
It's one shot. And I only realized it recently and went, whoa, how they did it so well that I didn't even know, which almost defeats the purpose of a wonder. But
Yeah.
still, it's like so amazing that all of the bits of business, the camera moves in just the way it needs to. People move in and out of the frame.
Mhm.
It's just lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just making a movie.
Exactly. The framing at the end of that scene was just like so well done with them both like
Yes.
leaning in. It was like really, I was like, oh, whoa. And there was so much of it it was just nice to see. I was like, oh, this is just so well made. Like everything was
Has
very
anyone
thoughtful.
seen The Sum of All Fears that Phil Alden Robinson also did? The Ben
No.
Affleck
Oh,
Jack Ryan movie?
I
haven't seen it.
I've seen.
It makes me want to kind
yeah.
of watch that. Although I do not like Field of Dreams, but it's rough shot stuff. But
Yeah.
I kind of gotta see it.
Maybe you did a
Done
good
to me,
job.
Sean.
I'm sorry.
Don't put that on the poll.
Yeah, don't put it. I've
I'm
seen
putting
where
that
a
on the
lot
poll.
of
That's
stuff
definitely going on the poll.
stuff blows
We need
up.
one more, and that's the perfect one. I'm typing it right now. Okay, I'm doing more good things I like. One thing I like about this is just a general thing. Is it reminds me of the Genesis song "Land of Confusion" because it is like general liberal wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the world we live in. These are the hands we give. We need to bring love together.
Robert Redford, like West Wing style liberal porn.
Yeah. And even like as ridiculous as the ending is, it gets me every time. I love it. Like the fact that everybody gets all the things they want. Whistler, that's really the testament to Strathairn's performance. Is he goes up to James Earl Jones and he says, "I want peace on earth and goodwill toward men," and you believe he wants it. You completely believe it.
Yeah.
And James Earl Jones goes, "We're the United States government. We don't do that sort of thing."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, you're just gonna have to try."
Exactly.
It's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think it really pulls off the thing where it is like heavy and thrilling when it needs to be, but never so. It does this thing where you feel like they could possibly fail, but you sort of know that they never will, where it's like right on the edge.
That's true.
And it's not one of those things like maybe in the first one, but in like some of the Ocean's movies, you're like, there's no way they can ever fail.
Yeah.
They're too good.
Exactly.
But in this one, they fuck up so much that you're like, they could probably fail.
Yeah.
Sneakers or Ocean's 11?
Whoa. Oh,
That's a really tough one.
Sneakers.
I pick Sneakers, but it's really close.
I like
really close.
Are you serious, Sean?
Yeah.
You watch Sneakers like 62 times a year.
Yeah.
You've seen Ocean's 11 like twice.
That's why
I love Ocean's
11
It's
times.
wonderful. But
It is
Sneakers is
fun.
I like Sneakers better.
I feel like the actors are a lot better in Sneakers.
Yes.
I feel like I think I'd take Sneakers, man. I think I would. Like I like the Ocean's 11 movies a lot.
Yeah.
But you have to contend with like Steven Soderbergh's terrible taste and everything. And like this fucking terrible jazz score. And like Scott Conn is in it. And like you have to deal like Sneakers, there's just so many little things that are better. Like Ocean's 11 probably has a better script.
Yeah.
It has, there's some sleeker shit going on. There's
Yeah.
better locations, but this movie is a true hangout movie.
Yes.
Ocean's 11, it creates characters, indelible characters that you want to learn more about, and that you remember by their character names.
Mhm.
Ocean's 11, it's like it's George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Matt Damon.
Yes.
These are movie stars. Now they are charismatic movie stars that we like.
Sure.
But this movie's different. It's a different, despite feeling kind of. Also, these like, you're right, Sean. Those guys, they're still millionaires to us in that movie. They're not going to lose. In this, you're like, these are plucky underdogs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, there's that scene. There's no scene in Ocean's 11 as endearing as Robert Redford pretending to be a private investigator and having led spying to him by Sidney Poitier and an unknown David Strathairn that concludes with Sidney Poitier chuckling into his necktie because David Strathairn's Whistler has just said, and give him head whenever he wants.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's just no amount of Brad Pitt eating food can compare to like little moments like that.
Give him head whenever he wants. That whole scene is pretty wonderful.
Sorry, Soderbergh.
From the very beginning, Redford the whole time in that scene is doing very good listening.
Yes.
Like he
It's
is
a
good
great
at
performance.
Is really good listening acting. Like he gets into the building and he gets up to the door and he goes, do you know how to defeat electronic keypad?
Yeah.
And they're like, don't even joke about that. That you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then he gets this book from Dan Aykroyd, from his friend who was in Iraq on the other side, which I honestly believe Dan Aykroyd probably knows weird Iraqi military people. And for what seems like hours, Redford is just listening to this long
Yeah.
way of defeating the keypad. He
That's
goes,
really good.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Okay. Yes.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
And then he kicks open the door.
It's really good.
Gag should not work.
That worked.
That's like, Sandler level stuff.
Yes.
And it totally works.
It somehow
It's just
works.
teased out just enough. I mean, if they had done a little less explanation, if maybe if it had been not shot as well enough, like if they had not had him kick the door just right, but even just maybe sound design is just like it's just a very satisfying kick of the door.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah, I love that part. I like the part when he gets caught and he's like explaining to her all the stuff, but
Yes.
they're telling him what to say, but then he confuses it because they're like,
Yes.
she's using you to get to her, and he's like, she's using me. You me to get to you. Like he's trying to like understand how to say it back to her.
And he goes, I know that sounds confusing.
Yeah, it's like really funny.
Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Another thing I love in this is Whistler. This is a dumb one that I just realized watching it recently. Is Whistler's hat brim? It's like really a like creased, like rounded, like a well-worn hat. And I don't know. There's just something about the attention to detail of that bit. It's like, okay, there's just people not just putting a hat on his head and going, "Hey, here's your hat."
Yeah.
Just somebody went, Whistler's, seems like he's very into details. He seems like he's into probably repetitive stuff. He's probably on the autism spectrum. So he's spending some time just sitting around folding his hat. And I just love that.
Yeah, little things like that have been kind of lost, it feels like.
Yeah.
But I really like that. And I also, this is a goofy one, but just something I liked was at the beginning, for some reason, he's reading Playboy but with Braille, and I was like, this is insane. Like, it's just wild.
Yeah, shit like that. Just like good little jokes.
Yeah, I mean, the gags, like that could, in other movies, be annoying.
Yeah.
This movie somehow is charmed. Like, he does Stevie Wonder clapping when he dances.
Yes.
Like, there are other films where you'd be like, oh, but this movie like lands all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's very, and maybe, also we might just be washed and just like old shit.
Oh, wow.
Are we
I hope
brainwashed?
not. I'm glad Michael's a lot younger than us so that we
Yes.
can feel less washed. Unless, we're just so unbearable that he says what we want to hear.
No, there have been many times where I'm like, I do not like this movie, and I don't get
That's
why
true.
you do. And we have proof on the pod.
We do have proof.
Which ones did you not like that we liked? Go back and listen to those.
No, yeah.
Take it back.
No, I like this one a lot, and I remembered. I think you showed it to me a long time ago, or maybe not. Maybe someone else did.
It was definitely Sean.
It was.
Must have been me.
I was
was
like,
me.
this is great, but yeah, it's just a fun movie, and there's so many like we already brought up, like cinematic, like things where has like the Russian guy who he like holds hostage, and they go down to that like
Yes.
pool. There's like that mist and the blue,
Yes.
and even like the end of that scene, it's just like so tricky. Like the guy, he's talking to him, and it's the end of the conversation, and he steps into the darkness. He goes,
Yeah.
"You must trust me," and it's like so like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
It's like very Third Man, Touch of Evil, and there's a lot of allusions to that. There's even like a security guard watching Touch of Evil early on. Like,
Oh, wow.
Like it's cinema. Like
Yeah.
they're going for something more than just this, frankly, flimsy ass script.
Yeah.
They put a lot of they're showing their work.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I mean, this is done well in a lot of the Mission Impossible movies, but I think I like the fact that in general Cosmo has the right idea.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, everything's falling apart.
Yeah.
The governments have too much money. People
He's Fight Club, y'all.
He's
absolutely
Fight
is Fight
Club.
Club. He's like, we're gonna destroy the banks. I'm gonna destroy the entire system so that there is no record of money. And you're kind of like, that actually sounds kind of good.
Yeah,
actually."
I'll take it.
And then by the end, you're like, I guess I'm thankful that Robert Redford stopped him, because that probably would destroy civilization and we would all kill each other.
Yeah.
But there is something like good about the fact that you go, oh yeah, I kind of agree with him. He is a sympathetic bad guy, even though he's clearly insane.
Exactly.
Um,
And he keeps saying Marty.
Marty.
Speaking of Marty, that reminds me of a really good Marty. So, when this is in the middle of the final heist, after Marty has been caught and then uncaught, he has gotten away, and he's on the top of the. Oh no, this is earlier. Sorry, I'm fucking this up.
Ooh.
He's inside the building, and he has been given the wrong box, which has nothing in it. And Kingsley goes, "Mother!" And at that moment, the alarm goes off, and it's a really good oh shit cinematic moment where you're like, oh no, because there's lights, there's whoop whoop alarm, and you're like, they are fucked. There's no way they're getting out. And there's like a sort of a sister moment, if there can be sister moments. I don't know if that even exists. After Redford has crawled off the roof, they've had their little talk off, and they've had their talk battle, and Kingsley realizes that he's been duped again, and there's no box in there.
Kingsley gets duped a number of times. For a shadowy conspirator genius.
For super genius, yeah, he does get duped a lot. And all of the big lights are spinning around and around. And after he realizes that he's been duped for, I guess, the final time, the light like hits his face and washes it out and kind of looks up, and it's so
really good. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Before we get into negatives, I must talk about David Strathairn's final moment of glory where he drives the car. We talked about it a little bit. It's just
like
wonderful.
The best non-Jurassic Park scene of that era.
That's great.
Yeah. It's really so wonderful.
As far as like uplifting, like
yes.
Like watch this scene with your mom and dad. Stuff.
Yes. It's so much fun.
It's from the 90s. It's like the greatest movie era there ever was, but it's also like a filthy, nasty Weinstein.
Yes.
Adrenaline to the heart, sperm flying everywhere, boogie nights, dirty, filthy, nasty time.
Yes.
And then like with the exception of like Spielberg's like couple good movies from that era.
Yeah.
And this is you know, da na 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 na. This is a heartwarming moment.
Yes, it's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Because
this should be stolen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the Safdie brothers should be putting this scene in movies.
I don't know if anyone else can pull it off.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't. So Strathairn the blind man, because everyone else has been captured, must drive.
Yeah.
And so Redford is giving him all the ways that he must drive. So he's like, pull back to go in reverse. And he's Redford to much hilarity is giving him very bad directions. So Strathairn the blind man never knows what is going on.
Redford is wonderfully inept.
Yeah, it's great.
He really is.
He really finally plays like the Paul Newman role. Like he spent his whole first part of his career being like the perfect, leather man.
Yeah.
Sorry. I guess he wasn't Leatherman yet. He's starting to become Leatherman now.
Yeah,
he's pretty Leatherface at this point. But he spent his whole first part of his career being like, perfect, like strawberry blonde man. And now he's like the affable, bumbling Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's so good and also so bad at directions. There's bunches of good directions where he's like, take a little left. Oh, my left. Sorry. And he hits cars and stuff. But the best one is he goes, okay, and you're about to get a slight decline, and straight there, and as Whistler goes down a huge hill, and the shot is wonderful because it's like one of these things where you're looking in the window, and then Strathairn disappears because you see the top of the truck. That's how far that he is going down the hill, and it's just really perfect. But we can't only say good things about this movie.
I think we can because
do you have more?
I also want to add to what you just said. There's one last bit in that driving part where he's telling him when do I need to stop? And he's like 5 more seconds. and stop. And as he says stop, the van just like slams into the wall of the place. It's just like so
really
funny.
fucking funny.
I was like, holy crap.
He hits the wall hard too.
It's so funny. Yeah.
It's also right on the edge of like he hits it so hard that if they didn't pull it off, you'd go, "Oh shit, he's dead."
Dead,
He
yeah.
hits the wall really
How
hard.
fucked would that have been?
Yeah.
He's dead
Whistler dies
because
in
you
crash.
made a blind man drive a truck. But there's one more really funny part to me, and then I swear I'll let us get to the bad stuff. But it's just so funny. It's when Marty gets finally caught and he comes down from the vent system. And then he gets brought in, held hostage, and then he sees Liz, and they just have a second where they're like standing together, and he's like, "Hi, how are you?" And she's like, "I'm doing good. How about you?" It's like just this weird back and forth. You're like, what is?
Yeah.
I just love stuff like that. It's kind of like in Star Wars, like Han Solo being like, just like where he talks on the intercom. He's like, "How are you?" Like, like just stuff like that. It's just so funny to me, like breaking the movie.
People being regular in irregular circumstances.
I love it.
Hey, how's it going? And it's also, I feel like one of the many moments that feel super real.
Yeah.
Because like we're so used to in our lives just answering in the wrong way, even when we're having horrible times, that if you were held at gunpoint and somebody went, "Hey, how are you?" You'd probably go, "Oh, I'm doing okay."
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I would actually legitimately say that because I'm so stupid.
That's great. I'm doing good.
Oh yeah, Sean's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'm fucking stupid. Okay, but there's negative things. I've got a few. One, and this is maybe the second most obvious one, but maybe it isn't that obvious. Cosmo's accent is fucking weird.
Yeah.
He's doing Bengazara.
It's weird.
It's weird though.
It's weird.
It's like one of those British guys doing an American accent thing where it's just
wait a minute.
But I
think it's a perfect.
I love it.
Whatever he was doing.
Yes. I mean, you may be right. Now,
look, there are certain actors who are just fucking nuts.
Yes,
Ben Kingsley is fucking nuts.
Absolutely.
And it works every time. Ben Kingsley's never bad because he's nuts.
Yeah.
It's true.
This is like a Tom Hardy and Venom level New York accent.
No.
Yes.
That only exists in like minds of maniacs and Christopher Walken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are correct, but in no way can this be a bad thing. I reject. Overrule. Objection.
Marty.
And overruled. So you're gonna have to give another one.
I'm happy to be overruled because I don't really have any bad things. But I had to try to think. Okay, here's another one. And this is just one that I don't even understand. So Redford and Kingsley are on the roof. Kingsley's got his gun. He's pointing it at Redford. And Redford says, "I thought you couldn't kill your friend." And Kingsley says this line that I do not understand, and maybe you guys can help me. He says, "I missed the purpose."
Oh, I thought he said I missed on purpose.
On purpose.
I missed on purpose.
Like, yeah, he shot. Yeah.
Jesus, Sean.
All these years,
stupid.
you've been
Well,
like,
then that makes perfect sense. So there actually are no
You're
bad
like,
parts.
wait
It's
a
a perfect
minute.
movie in every way.
That's really funny. Like, wait, what? That's really good.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I was like, I missed the purpose. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, shit, I don't know.
Poor Sean loves this movie so much. He's searching for deeper meaning in every syllable.
Yeah.
That's great.
What does it mean? Too many secrets. He missed the purpose.
Yeah. I didn't get it, but now I get it. Okay. You're right. It's
Okay.
good.
Well,
So
no.
what's bad about this movie, guys?
Oof.
I'm bad. Love it too much. I love it so much that even the things that normally would annoy me just delight me in so many ways.
Yeah. I had a really hard time with this too. Maybe if I had to be picky, maybe trim up the ending bit, like the goofy ending bit. Maybe like shorten that a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Um,
The like callback bit where they're
You
all
didn't like old sexual dead dynamo, River Phoenix getting the number?
no, it's funny, but I just think maybe just tighten it up because
yeah.
it was a bit long. It's like, all right, we get it. This is a fun
Yeah.
ending, but let's end. I mean, if I had to pick something, but the other thing I picked was when the guy's racist and he's like, "You too, midnight," and you're like,
Ooh.
I don't really.
Oh
But-
no,
I don't
Michael!
really need that.
Nothing lets you know somebody's a piece of crap.
True.
That's some casual racism.
True.
Yeah.
You got to have that in there, man.
And it makes you really earn the motherfuckers.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. He can't go Mr. Tibbs on him if he doesn't drop that midnight, man.
Midnight. It was cool
Come
to
on.
see him and James Earl Jones. I was
Yes.
like, oh, this is cool.
James
Yeah.
Earl Jones just doing Hunt for Red October all over again.
Absolutely.
Saying the same lines and everything.
Yes, he's whoa. Okay.
He's whoa.
Sorry, but our call ends in 5 minutes apparently.
I guess we're finding out how long an episode about sneakers can be.
Yeah, that's it.
It can be exactly that
I
long.
didn't know
Okay.
there was a limit. Damn.
Apparently so. Well, we better
I
close
swear,
then.
there's been Michael summaries that were longer than
Yeah,
1 hour.
exactly.
But I don't think I have any other negative things to say. So I'll say one more positive thing. James Earl Jones, perfect stunt casting. When he shows up, you kind of hear a voice and you kind of know who it is. But when he shows up at the end, you go, yes.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those other moments where they just get a great actor and they put him in a role and he sells it so well. And he's like grumpy and then he kind of turns and he's kind of having a fun time with them. And I love him.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
So I got a take that's so bad that if the show ends suddenly while the take is happening, it'll be a blessing.
Okay.
River Phoenix is pretty good in this movie.
Uh-oh.
But really, between this and like young Indiana Jones, is that really enough to cement a legacy where we still like remember that he died in the Viper Room? Like, why
Yeah.
is River Phoenix like on James Dean's level?
Just because he was young. I think that's it.
I mean, if River Phoenix had to die so that I could get Joaquin Phoenix being as weird as he is, I'll take it. I will take the death of
As
River
weird
Phoenix.
as oh my
If
god.
I
That
have
really
to
is a hot
have-
take.
The complete insanity that is Joaquin.
Oh my god.
I must become the Joker Phoenix. Then this is a sacrifice I'm willing to make. I'm sorry, Phoenixes.
Phoenix.
Phoenicians.
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 John, I think you have to end the show because of
Well, let's end it. You know what? You can find us
which is
at
good
Food-
because we were gonna keep going on in
Yeah.
perpetuity.
I love it. I love a limit.
tweet at us at Food Court Cast. Go over to Instagram to Food Court Movie Podcast and get involved in our poll. It will be over on Twitter. Your options for what we will watch next week are Black Widow, Space Jam 2, that new Soderbergh movie. I can't think of what it's called, and Sum of All Fears. So vote on which one of those you want us to watch.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week. We do this every week on Twitch at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, or you can listen to us on your favorite podcast app. Tell all your friends and write us a nice long review. On behalf of Michael Hampton and John Burr, may I say to you, bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Badapadi.